Hey, how you doing there? Welcome to my channel, Veracity Trigger. And I wanted to show you Steps of Faith, and this is the first time run through. From watching this video again, I did this kind of late, and I realized we did get killed a couple times in the dungeon, and I think the healer got distracted, stopped healing for a while. I ended up dying, and then people, I don't know, I guess I didn't realize that. So, yeah, the first time though, I don't think we killed the ads fast enough, or we didn't stand in the 8 circles the right way, because standing in all the 8 circles did work third time through, which you'll see. So we'll go over it and we'll see it stuff. So yeah, this is pretty much just the first time through. I think a lot of people are coming into this and they're just expecting to know everything right away. They want the guides, they want to know everything. I don't know, I feel kind of sad about that, because the way that I grew up playing games, like, I was excited to learn it myself, you know, and now I've got everybody like force feeding me for information and expecting me to just follow suit, become a robot, and just do everything the way everybody else is doing it. And yeah, you know, that does help you get the dungeon done faster, but it's not as enjoyable, I wouldn't say. It's not as enjoyable. I like to try something for myself to get a feel for it. And when it's the first week, the first day, you know, this is the first day. So this one didn't seem like upsetting. Like, people didn't seem too upset, you know, if we did die a little bit. People are still thinking about it, so it didn't seem very upsetting to these people, and that was nice. You know, I didn't get a lot of grief that, oh, we're gonna die again, and over. Just the sarcasm. You guys have bled out the sarcasm to such a degree that it's too much. It's too much. It's oversaturating the text chat. It's everywhere. Everywhere you want to be. It's everywhere. I'm sorry. I can't stand it. It's too much. Too much. Gotta stop that. Gotta play a game and be happy about playing a game. If you're not happy about playing a game, play a different game. Do something else. Do something different. There's no point in wasting your life being constantly upset with something. If it's making a person that upset, take a break from it. Do something else. Go somewhere else. Don't do the thing that's constantly upsetting you. That's my advice, because it's only going to make you more angry. It's only going to make your mentality worse, and it's not good for your health, really. So that's just my advice. But like here, one person learned, did the fight already, and they were talking about the ads, and I'm like, well, do I take one or do I take the other? I also have trouble in here if there's a tank that's a Lala, because they're so tiny. I'm like, I can't see them. They're so tiny. It's like they're just little tiny potatoes. You can just step on them, and you have mashed potatoes everywhere. So, you know, I think it's a cute class, but for a tank, no. Ryogadin, or why am I saying that? Yeah, Ryogadin. What was the other class in 11? That was the big hulking class. That was even bigger than the Ryogadins, which I kind of missed. I was kind of hoping they were going to make some kind of monster here that you could play as for the big class, you know, as kind of the tanking style. But they didn't do that. I'm still hoping for that someday. That they'll make some big, we'll see Umero in here as one of the main playable classes, and I'll get to play as Umero for a tank. Because you'd be a monster. You'd be huge. I mean, it's hard to miss you when you're like that big. But the Lala tank didn't want to tank, and he's a paladin, so he lets me tank it, which isn't so bad. I can tank it. I just need some healers to heal me periodically. So one person gets distracted and just stops, and then I die. Yeah. So, yeah, I did get hit with that purple thing there. I didn't even notice that. I did not even notice that. Wow. I just saw that right now. I'm trying to watch very, very carefully. I didn't notice that first one. I don't know if I take any more though. I gotta wonder if I take any more. Do I take any more damage from those black circles there? I don't know. But yeah, this is kind of the first run through. I'm not going to be able to understand which cooldowns are best for what things yet until I play this a while, and then I can do something about that and then show you. But this is just kind of a fun thing that you can see and maybe kind of enjoy, I suppose. So yeah, like another thing too is that when they changed the vitality gear settings for tanks to like make sure you go to vitality settings, I actually lost strength. I lost strength in my attack. I was noticing I was doing something like 2,000 at times for some of my attacks, and then I'm like down to 1,300, 1,400 or something like that when I get the next piece of vitality gear. And I'm like, is that really a good trade-off? Because I don't feel like that was a good trade-off. I don't feel like I'm doing more damage. I think they just wanted you to have more vitality. I think that's what they wanted to do. I don't know. I guess there's a calculator that makes it work, but I feel like I'm doing less damage overall. And so yeah, I kind of felt like I was doing a lot less damage. Here I wasn't really sure where to go. I was thinking I wanted to keep this ad close to the other ones so they could AoE both at the same time. Someone was telling me, just keep them near, just keep them where they spawn and stuff. So I guess that's what you just have to do later on. I was trying to be helpful, but apparently it wasn't helpful. So you know, we'll see. I popped the Soul Survivor on him at the end just to get back some MP. You know, save the healer from having to heal me up, and we can just go and you know, do damage to this thing right here. I guess so far the debate is that you have to kill the ads very fast, so that you know, when he comes back, they're dead before that. So you know, you survive this hit. So everybody's like, come over here. I'm like, okay. And I'm looking at these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 circles. I'm like, well, there's 8 of us, and there's 8 of those circles. Maybe we got to stand in all the 8 circles individually. And I think that became the conclusion that, you know, they started talking about, like, because some people are like, well, we could just all stand in the center and be okay. But usually when you see things like this, typically when you see things like this, when they create some kind of sphere or something like that doesn't look like a bad pool to stand in, usually that's for you to actually stand in. So that's kind of what I'm used to, like with the meteors in Circus Tower, or the meteors in World of Darkness. You know, you got to stand in those evil-shaped arcane circles for the meteor to come down and hit you, to spread out the damage so that it's not super powerful. So that's kind of what I'm used to seeing. So I'm thinking that that's what that's supposed to be. I think later on they go and they kind of say that, you know, that we should probably do that. So that's what we end up doing in the end, and we get through it. So standing in all the circles after you kill the ads. Usually, I think that's what we're supposed to do. So if you're the main tank, if someone was calling direct north or something like that, or whatever, but somebody wanted to stand in my circle where I'm supposed to tank him just directly in front of me like that, and I'm thinking, why are you trying to go to my space? The main tank is supposed to be like dead center in the middle at the far end. Typically that's kind of what I do. And what I like here too is I can see some landmarkers for the stage. It's not like Thornton or Ravana where there's like practically no landmarkers. That will mess me up bad. If there's some kind of landmarker, it's not just that there's A, B, and C. It's just that when I'm moving around, I get uncoordinated as far as east, west, and north goes. And I got to change my compass around because somehow my compass is not set the way that I had it set before, where I would turn and the compass would turn. So whatever way that I'm turning, the compass will show me the way I'm facing. I like that best because, if I camp or something like that, I've got a compass. I can, turn myself around and see where I am on the compass. Kind of works like that in real life, but in here it's like, no, the compass is always set and you change. Yes, that's true, but when you need to use the compass, that's not the way it works in real life. So, it's not like, anyway, but, so I need to change the compass. We're going to jump back into this and we're going to see what's next. So I think he has, some kind of like wind effects. He's got the hot wings. He's got the hot tail. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I named it that. But he's got those attacks you have to pretty much just watch out for. Later on I saw in the extreme he's got these little bombs that, you'll watch like a Mr. Happy video and say like it's Bomberman. You gotta stay out of there. But the bombs look a lot like Nidhogg at that point. So I don't know if I will do. I might try it, but they look a lot like him. So I don't know if I'm going to see it. Especially when you're tanking. Here's the thing. When you're tanking, if the boss is as big as this, half the stuff you're not going to see behind him. Yeah, you can zoom the camera out, but they keep making these bosses bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, hell, the Brachiosaurus, when I fought that in the Diadem, the reason that people weren't really happy with that so much, and I don't think it was so much that, it was uncoordinated or whatever. But seriously, I was seriously upset fighting the Brachiosaurus, not because he was hard, because he was 50 stories high. I had to take my Wanzer, eject myself out of the landmass, fly away from him, and then I could target him, because I can only target what I can see most of within my screen. And he covers the entire screen that it won't let me target his feet. I can't target him. I just can't. And the auto target isn't really good for tanking because I'll just fight whatever. But if I'm in the Diadem and I need to fight that thing, to get the weapons or get the item levels or whatever for it, I need to be able to do damage to him. And if I have to fly away from the battle to target him, to land again, to attack him, that's a waste of time. I never got anything from him. Every time I fought him, I never got anything from him. It was ridiculous. And I'm like, you know what? I don't get anything from this guy. He doesn't, I can't get anything from him if I can't target him. It's stupid. It's really stupid to have something that massively big that you can't even target. Yes, those creatures were big, but those creatures were never that big. They were never 50 stories high. I mean, that thing is like the size of a little skyscraper, as far as how big it is compared to your characters. Now, Nidhogg, this is a decent size, I would say. I don't think we get through this part. I think the healer was distracted or he wasn't healing. I have no idea what was going on with him. I was just watching what I was doing and I'm like, why am I dead? Why am I dead? So here we fight these ads. I don't know where, that's where he's going. So they marked him with a triangle. But even then, half the time I don't really, I just, for some reason, it's hard for me to remember to focus on those little markers. Usually I just focus on the one marker, like the triangle, the square marker, whatever like that. I just don't focus on it, to see what it is. It's like my eyes just look over it completely, and I just focus on the A, B, C, the 1, 2, 3, and where my cooldowns are and stuff like that. But I guess that's why they put the little triangle on him, because they wanted me to see him. Because otherwise, I just think it's a bad idea to make a 2 tankable thing or a 3 tankable thing, and one of the tanks a Lala. Not that they can't be cute, but it's just that they're so tiny and they're so small. They're like little potatoes. You can walk on them and make, you can make mashed potatoes. So, I mean, you walk on them and make mashed potatoes, you will never see them again. I don't know. But I can't see them too well. They're so tiny. They're just so incredibly tiny. They're so small that when I'm zoomed out, if he didn't have the triangle on his head, I probably wouldn't really notice him that much. And people glamour too, so that's also difficult for me too. There's some other games I'll play that have all the characters glamored into whatever they possibly could be, and some of them I can't even see because they just match the background. So I don't really know what I'm doing in some other games where everybody's just camoed into the background so perfectly that I can't see them. So I don't know. Sorry, complaining, but this is just a free run. Nothing too serious. I guess it's kind of serious that everybody wants to get the clear, but this isn't something that I can really share a ton of information with you yet, because I haven't really looked at the way I need to use my cooldowns, because that's really what it comes down to. For tanking this is how you use your cooldowns. Yes, positioning is another thing, but a lot of other people can kind of tell you where the best position was from what they've done. But as far as using the cooldowns for yourself, that's something you're going to have to kind of figure out. But here's the thing. One thing I've noticed is that once you get past this part here, because they're basically saying, well, the other tank should have picked up the other ad. I was kind of dead. There wasn't much I could do being dead. So in spirit, I may have picked up the other ad in spirit, but in physical, physically, no, I wasn't there. So, what we do later on, though, I mean, there's some more stuff that comes up. He transforms into a dragoon, and when he transforms and stuff, he's flying all over the place, doing these attacks on you, and you just have to kind of juke and jive all over the place and try to I think you need to go to the center and then come back to the corners once you see these purple orbs around you, and you got to go to the corners, all the corners, to try to get everybody out. So just imagine yourself as a big bubble and try to push away from the other bubbles in a sense that you don't link the other bubbles. But I'm sure you've seen some other guys, they probably will show you a lot, as far as what to do the proper way. So that little slash kind of indicates where he's going to do those little attacks there, and on the other side of that slash is where he's going to swipe through. That's what it kind of seems to me so far. That's kind of how that goes. He does that shockwave attack too. Everybody is taking some damage from that. But the big fire hits, they hurt. So what I'm doing so far, and it seemed to be working, is just making sure I have a cooldown set at almost every point in time. I break a little bit in the middle of the cooldown, so I'm not burning them all up super fast, because I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do. I have no idea. This is, we've gotten kind of this far. See, here I actually kind of planned this a little bit better, kind of turning him this way. I don't know if it matters if you perfectly have him all the way pointing to A or just slightly off, but it seems this is decent so far. We finally get a decent position here. I guess the AoEs can possibly hit both of them at the same time, but I'm not totally positive. I'd almost think that if you brought the ads a little bit closer and then turned them away from each other, you could AoE all three at the exact same time. But by the time you're trying to pull this ad over to that, he could swipe the whole team while you're trying to do that mechanic. So I don't know if it's really, really advisable. Probably this is probably the safest bet to do right here. So here, you know, I've got. I think for this ad though, you could probably turn off grit and just go blood weapon and just fight it. You know, put Soul Survivor on at the end. If you can target the other one and you know the other one's going to die, and put a Soul Survivor on the other one in the middle, because they always go for that middle one first. If you can Soul Survivor that one, you can get back your MP and do pretty well. So we finally get this guy down. I do some Dark Passenger on it. We get this guy down. He pushes you back a little bit. I'm thinking, you know what? Okay, we're going to stand in circles. This is what we're going to do. Let's just go stand in the circles and we'll be okay. So we got this one guy, like, I don't know why he's there, but anyways, so we're there. We all take some damage. It was a little hurtful, but we all survived. Now, Estinian here, the Nidhogg version of Estinian, is actually pretty cool. It's kind of fun. He does these swipe attacks. I don't know for the extreme mode if I have to have somebody there with me to eat some of the swipe attacks too, maybe the other tank too, but I'm not totally sure yet. I don't really know because it's the first time. I think that dive attack that he does, maybe, I'm not sure, but they were curing me pretty good. They were just focusing on curing me, so that worked out actually. So I guess if they just keep curing you like that, it's okay. So like everybody pulls the orbs to the sides, and then you dodge that middle part, and you just try to reset yourself back in position. I think the middle is actually perfectly fine to tank him here. I wouldn't recommend taking him all the way to the edge at this point, because he's going to keep dropping those circles that go all over the place. And so if you're at the end, everybody's going to have to run twice as far to drop their circle somewhere else. So it's probably best just to stay right here. You know, have all the healers just focus on you, because as the circles are all right here, we can all just zoom out and put the circles as close to the corner as possible. So I think for tanking, you want to try to be towards the middle. See, here it gets a little tough, because now we're like, they wouldn't go out further. But if you get pinched in a corner like this, I don't know if pushing him back to the center is advisable, because if he's going to slash at you and the whole party while you're trying to reposition him, you're going to kill the whole damn team. So I think it's best just to be like, okay, well, he pushed me to this corner, I guess this is where I'm going to be right now. You know, and we'll just try to play it by ear and just try to push out from there. So you see this, I think I get caught here because I'm like, how am I supposed to get out of that? How the hell am I supposed to get out of this thing? I think he does put something on me. I think I tried using like a really strong cooldown at the time, because I wasn't sure what the hell he's going to do. I thought he was going to like just massively kill me somehow. I wasn't sure what the heck this was. I wasn't sure what the heck that was, but I did burn my I did burn my living skill on there. And see, like here, I should have probably moved back a little bit. Let's see, how does this work? Yeah, I have to move back a little bit, because otherwise I'm going to get hit with all that fire. But I don't know, if the healers just focus on you for a while, it's not so bad. I mean, you just go left and right here, try to avoid what you can see. But that middle part with the Estinian, I think it's best to stay in the middle and then to pull out to the sides when you get the orbs, because then you can try to pull back to the middle. And I think there's another part. The second part, he does like a double bubble. He does a double bubble on you, and I think you should try to go back to the center. See, here you got to try to all group up, and then you just got to kind of stay there, because he just does this. I think the other time he did this, when he was doing it, I didn't see that targeting ring. I don't know if you saw it. I'm still watching this again, and I can't see it. So, I don't know. But when he does that targeting ring where he's going to target everybody, you just go there with the whole party and you just stand there until he's done. You know, once he's done, then he's done. So, luckily, you know, he doesn't do too many more tank buster stuff. He just kind of goes into AoE mode and he just, you know, hits most of the party. So it's really like he's hitting the party more so. He hits you once in a while, but this is just, you just dodge AoEs, so you don't need a lot of cooldowns at this point. Only when he's going to start fighting you right here, you know, it's kind of good to do that. You know, to get him off your back. So this is like probably the best point in time to do that. So it's also, I think it's a good idea to do Delirium sometimes, you know, to make sure you get Delirium on him every once in a while. But with all the mechanics that are going off, you want to try to do your aggro building probably as much as possible, because you're dodging all the time. You're dodging a lot. Like you're avoiding AoEs, you're running left and right, you're doing this and that. You know, so you don't want to lose aggro while you're trying to, you know, fit a point in there to put Delirium in. You know, so that's just kind of my suggestion there. The orbs over there, they go left and right and this and that. So I guess they just go, see how they go in that horizontal pattern? But they go in a horizontal pattern, like if you were to look at this like a chessboard, all the tiles kind of work with the way that the orbs would blow out. They're not going to go vertical, they're going to go horizontal. So yeah, that's pretty much all the advice I can give you right now for first time run. I'd have to go through it again and play it again and see which ways the better ways to do the cooldowns are. If any of that made any sense, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, that's pretty much Steps of Faith. Got through it. First time run. Hope you enjoyed. And I will try to get out some more videos soon. See if I can do a Weeping City. I don't know if I'm going to do a first time run, but I'm going to try to see how it works and see if I can get the mechanics right and get the cooldowns right as best I can and try to do that. So, take it easy, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.